Have you ever wondered what would happen if you dug a hole straight through the earth? Would you reach the other side, or would you encounter something unexpected? Let's dig deep, literally, into this fascinating idea. Imagine you grab a shovel and start digging in your backyard. You dig deeper and deeper, passing through the soil, rocks, and everything else that stands in your way. It sounds simple, right? Well, not quite. Let's break down that you'd actually encounter on this mind-bending journey to the other side of the earth. First, you'd need to dig through the earth's crust. That's the outermost layer where we live. And it's about 35 kilometers thick on average. But if you're starting in the ocean, you have an easier time. The crust there is thinner, just around 5 to 10 kilometers. Once you get through the crust, though, things start to heat up, literally. Below the crust, you enter the mantle, which extends about 2,900 kilometers deep. Here, the temperature can reach up to 4,000 degrees Celsius. That's hotter than the surface of the sun. The pressure is so intense that the rocks aren't exactly solid or liquid. They are in a weird, squishy state. Now, let's say you somehow manage to keep digging. Maybe you have got some futuristic drill that can withstand the heat. You then reach the outer core, a layer of molten iron and nickel. This part is around 2,200 kilometers thick and entirely liquid. You would need to swim through a sea of liquid metal to reach the next stage. After the outer core, you would finally hit the inner core, a solid ball of iron that's as hot as surface of the sun. It's around 1,200 kilometers thick. Here, the pressure is unimaginable, about 3 million times the pressure we experience at sea level. Even if you somehow survived up until this point, this would probably be the end of the line. But let's keep going for the sake of curiosity. Once you pass through the inner core, the journey repeats itself in reverse. Outer core, mantle, and crust until you reach the other side. But here's the catch. Gravity would be working against the entire time. The deeper you dig, the stronger the gravitational pull back towards the Earth's center becomes. So, instead of just popping out the other side, you would likely get stuck in a loop falling back towards the center every time you tried to reach the surface. It's like a never-ending bungee jump, but without a rope. This effect is known as simple harmonic motion. If there was no air, resistance, and no heat, you would actually fall back and forth from one side of the earth to the other in about 42 minutes each way, but in reality, the friction, pressure, and heat would stop you long before you made it out. Now, for those of you who are curious, if you started digging in North America, you wouldn't end up in China like many people think. You would actually end up in the Indian Ocean. It turns out that digging straight through the earth really takes you to the land on the other side. So, what's the verdict? Digging a hole through the earth sounds like a fun idea, but it's practically impossible. The extreme heat, pressure, and the structure of the earth itself would make this a journey no one could survive. But isn't it amazing to think about what lies beneath our feet? Our planet is a complex, mysterious place. And while we may never dig through it, the science behind it is mind-blowing. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Earth, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more mind-bending explorations. Until next time, stay curious.